Good morning, class. Welcome to this tutorial on how to draw single point perspective. We're going to start out with our horizon line. Remember, this is the line that divides the sky from the ground. Next, I'm going to put on a vanishing point. This vanishing point is where all our lines that go into the distance are going to converge. I'm going to start out with a simple building by drawing two lines to my vanishing point. These lines are going into the distance, so they're going to be walls that are going away from us. Notice how they make a V at the vanishing point. Now I'm going to use my ruler and make nice straight vertical lines. It's really important that you use a ruler for this so that your lines and your building appear to be straight. I now have the wall going into the distance. I'm going to add the wall that's going to be straight on for us. I can do that just by drawing straight lines that are horizontal and parallel to the horizon line. My other vertical line, I'm simply going to take my ruler, make sure that it's perpendicular, and draw that nice vertical line. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my eraser and I'm going to erase out any of the lines that I don't need. Since I'm not able to see in behind a building, I need to erase that horizon line out. I'm going to do the same for the area that's going into the distance. Just simply taking my eraser and erasing that line out. Next, I'm going to erase my guidelines that are the lines going to the vanishing point. Right now we have a nice cube form on our drawing. What we're going to do now is turn this into a building by adding some windows and doors. On the side that's straight on, I can just simply draw those windows and doors straight on. Vertical lines for vertical lines and horizontal lines for horizontal. Remember to keep your lines nice and straight and make your windows and doors appear like they would on a normal building. Once I put in my horizontal lines, I go back in and put the verticals in. That way I have nice straight lined up windows. Once I have my windows laid out the way that I want, I'm going to take my eraser and erase out the parts that I no longer need. That being said, one of the biggest challenges is to try to draw lightly. You have to remember I'm drawing much darker than you would normally see for a drawing like this. The reason why I'm drawing dark is so the camera will pick it up and so that you're able to clearly see the image. Next, we're going to look at the wall going into the distance, the one that's going towards the vanishing point. I want to start out by adding a garage door. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a line from the vanishing point for the top of my garage door. Next, I'm going to add a vertical line that touches the bottom of the building and that line. I'm going to add one for each side of the garage door. Then I'm going to use my ruler and line it up with the vanishing point. I'm going to take that line where the garage door bends, and I'm going to create those by lining my ruler up with the vanishing point and creating a small fold area in my paper. That way it gives the appearance of the lines where the garage door bends to go up and down. Next, I'm going to take my eraser and I'm going to erase out that guideline again that I no longer need. Once I'm done with my garage door and those guidelines, I'm going to do the same thing. And I'm going to add a top line going to the vanishing point, and a bottom line going to the vanishing point. For the tops and bottoms of the windows on any side of the building that's going away from us. I'm going to create vertical lines to separate out where the windows are. Remember, any line that's vertical stays vertical. Next, I can take my eraser and erase out where I don't want those windows to appear. Notice how the windows get smaller as they get closer to the vanishing point. What perspective does is create the illusion of depth. Remember, things that are further away from us are going to have the appearance of being smaller. Next, let's put a sign on this building. To do a sign, simply take the top of the ruler, line it up with the vanishing point, create a vertical line where you want your sign to begin and end. Take your eraser, erase out the guideline. Now, using your pencil, simply write what you want the building to be. Great. We've got our one building done. Now, notice how this building is taller than the horizon line. Let's make one that's shorter. Start again with those two lines going to our vanishing point, the top and bottom. Make sure the top and bottom are below the vanishing point this time. What we're going to do is we're going to use these two lines to make a shorter building. Again, I'm going to create a vertical line and another vertical line. This way, I have the wall going into the distance. I'll erase out the parts that I don't want anymore. Next, I'll create that straight-on wall. I simply have to draw a box or a square using the corners that already exist. I'll draw 2 horizontal lines and 1 vertical line to connect them. Now, in the far corner, I'm going to take my ruler and I'm going to connect the far corner to the vanishing point. This creates our building and our roof. Erase out any of the lines that you don't want anymore or don't need. See our building? Notice how you can see the roof? Remember, any building that's shorter than where the horizon line is, we're going to need to see that roof. Let's turn this into a garage. I'm going to take again, draw some lines to the vanishing point. There's the top of my garage door. I'm going to draw some vertical lines to make individual garage doors. Notice again how the one that's closer to us is much larger than the one that's further away. Next, let's make those slats again. So I'm going to have to take my ruler and line it up with the vanishing point to create those little lines that allow our garage doors to bend. When you get comfortable, you don't have to draw it the whole way to the vanishing point. Simply make sure that your ruler remains on that point and draw the line where you need it to be. Next, clean up any lines that you need to. Now we're going to draw a street, some way to get into these buildings. I'm going to draw a line coming straight down from our vanishing point, and another one, again, straight down from our vanishing point. This creates the illusion of a road going into the distance. I'm going to take my ruler and I'm going to create the dotted lines going down the center of the road. Notice how they get smaller and smaller the further back they go. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create an area to get into this garage, a driveway. Keeping my lines nice and horizontal, parallel to the horizon line, I'll create the driveways to come in off the road. Go ahead and erase out where the driveway touches the road. Next, let's add a sidewalk. Using again the vanishing point, I'm going to draw a sidewalk coming out of this door. From the corner of the door, out, and again the corner of the other side, out. Next, I'm going to draw a horizontal line that's parallel with the horizon line and bring it over to the street. I'm going to do the same thing here, but I actually need to make that line coming out on the further side a little bit longer. Okay, again, a line from the that's parallel to the horizon line. Next, let's add the blocks in the concrete sidewalk. We're going to have some that go away from us, so they're going to touch up with the vanishing point. Ones that are straight on are going to remain parallel to that horizon line. Great, we've got our sidewalk. Let's do one more thing. Let's create a parking lot next to the garage. I'm going to start out by deciding where I want my parking lot to end. Now I'm going to take my vanishing point. I'm going to create a line for that side right there. Connects up with the road. Now I'm going to take, again, my ruler, and I'm going to create my parking spaces. Remember, if they're parking up against this building, they're parking into the distance. So it's important to draw those lines going to the vanishing point. Let's just add a few final details. And there you have it, your first single point perspective drawing. How's yours look?